Hello YouTube. This is a chassis from a Hacker GP-42 Gondolier Record Player. There it is there. I'm servicing this one for a friend of mine. Having never worked on a Hacker before, and watching lots of videos on other people servicing the Hackers and the good things they say about the build quality is in fact true. I've actually really enjoyed working on this record player. So with the chassis, I have changed all of the coupling electrolytic capacitors. They're all 50 microfarads. Well, they were 50 microfarads at 16 volt. Now 50 microfarads no longer available, so nearest is 47 microfarads. And I've upgraded them to 100 volts. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. An 8 microfarad capacitor. I can't remember what this one was. I think it was a... Let's look at the original. The original was a 16 microfarad. And this is quite a late record player because these capacitors are dated September 1970. The 50 microfarad caps are in quite a bad way. All original. One of them, one of the legs just simply pulled straight out. I've changed, there was a couple of grid resistors which were reading high, which are just over there. I think they were 820k resistors. Two decoupling capacitors, 0.05 microfarad, and again the nearest I could find was 0.47. I'm no engineer by trade, to be honest. It's just stuff that I've picked up, so I'm hoping this is all okay. A couple of resistors there which were reading high, which have changed. And of course the main filter capacitor, which is two 50 microfarad caps in one can. The 200 ohm load resistor was reading absolutely fine, so I didn't change that because you can't seem to get 200 ohm resistors very easily, and I didn't particularly want to have two 100 ohm resistors in series. There was the original capacitor that came out. The unit was working, but it was humming quite badly. So hopefully this will cure that problem. There was a couple of capacitors, I believe it was a 500 picofarad capacitor, and there was one other one in the tone control board, which I fitted back into the record player, which I've also changed, along with a couple of resistors in there as well, which looked pretty bad. One of the grid resistors, I don't know if I can find it, had quite a nasty bulge in it, just heat related. The fact that it was reading high wasn't a surprise. No, I don't think it was that one. I don't know. Anyway, these were really built with the service engineer in mind. Everything just plugs in. Lovely record player. The record deck is a Garrard 2025TC. Usual problem, all the grease had turned to oil. So I've completely stripped it down, cleaned all the old grease, oil and the muck out of the mechanism. I've greased everything that slides and oiled everything that turns. The only thing that I haven't greased or oiled, which you must never grease or oil, is the trip cam on the... there's a little trip arm on the cam, and that must always be free. And that was actually gummed up as well, so I had to take that apart, clean it all up with alcohol, and then put that one back together. So that's the only part in the record player that must not be greased or oiled. So I'm going to put it all back together, give it its final test, and I'll come back when it's all working. Okay, bye for now. One thing I forgot to show you, which I'll show you now before I put it all back together, the valves on the back of the chassis. The reason the sound quality is so good on this machine, excuse me, is the push-pull output stage. And the two Mullard ECL 86s are the output valves running in push-pull configuration, and the ECL 80, yeah, ECL 80 rectifier valve, which obviously changes the incoming AC from the transformer to high tension DC. So I think I've got no reason to believe the valves have ever been changed. I've just given them a wipe over. All three are nice Mullard examples. So yeah, lovely. Really nice chassis to work on. And after hearing this, obviously I did give it a test when I first got it. The sound quality was good then, but there was quite a hum. And it just made me realise I'm going to have to buy one of these myself. I really need a Hacker Gondolier Record Player. But I'm going to go one stage further. I want the matching amplifier speaker, which will give me stereo sound. So I need one. Okay, I'll see you in a moment. Bye bye. So it's all back together and it's working. That's as much hum as there is, and that's just because of the turntable. That's full volume. Full volume. Lovely record player. Okay, let's give you some soul coaxing. More than enough volume there. More than enough. This is so impressive. This is the treble. And the bass. Sounds even better when the lid's down. Not that you'll hear it. Amazing. What a lovely track and what lovely sound. I need to turn the bass down a bit. That's all thanks to a huge Goodman's, I think it's a 10x8 elliptical speaker. I do need one of these record players myself. There's one finishing on eBay in a week's time with the amp. And also, I didn't realise there's another variation, Hacker Grenadier, which is in same design, but it's a teak cabinet. Has the amplifier, matching amplifier in teak, and it's all solid state. So that could be an interesting one. Watch this space. And let's just show you the repeat function. Let's try and lift up the overarm without control arm, not overarm, control arm. Okay. Now if we put this to the lead out groove, it should just repeat the record. Look at that. Lovely. Okay YouTube, thanks for watching, and join me again for some more vintage junk. Loads of vintage junk. Loads. And more to come. Dear oh dear. Anyway, I'm going to make a cup of tea, take this record player downstairs and sit and enjoy it. Okay YouTube, bye bye.
Just one look, that's all it took, yeah. Just one look, that's all it took, yeah. When I see my baby, what do I see?